Hi everyone. Today we will talk about a fucking epic topic. You know what I mean? This is the best thing that Dua did for me. You know what I mean? Dua Lipa. She did for me. You know what I mean? The best thing, the best thing. You got me? After the stars that she did, and I talk about that, you know what I mean? You got me in other video, you know what I mean, symbolizing the Moroccan stars. What I will talk about today, it's so fucking close to my heart, you know what I mean. This ring, you know what I mean, has to do with Dua Lipa, you know what I mean. The color is orange, you know what I mean. Orange is the color that I gave Dua Lipa, you know what I mean. And this finger, you know what I mean, has to do with Dua Lipa, because as I said, you know what I mean, me, I give, you know what I mean, colors to my girlfriends, you know what I mean, colors of love, you know what I mean, expression of love, and fingers too, you know what I mean. So for example, this finger has to do with Taylor Swift, this finger has to do with Dua Lipa, Paris Hilton, and Miley Cyrus, you know what I mean. So when I wear, for example, let's say a ring, for example, here, that means that you are romanticizing and showing love to Paris Hilton. You know what I mean? This ring, you know what I mean, has to do, as I said, with Dua Lipa, that I love her so much, you know what I mean? You got me, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I choose her, you know what I mean, to wear her ring, you know what I mean? You got me? So today we'll talk about training season song, you know what I mean? You got me? This is the first time you will understand the song, you know what I mean? What the song is about. You know what I mean? You got me? You will discover the truth about training season song. You know what I mean? Many people in foreign countries, you know what I mean, they don't understand, you know what I mean, or know, you know what I mean, the truth about this song. You know what I mean? And that's bad, you know what I mean? You got me, what I mean? How can you are a fan of Dua Lipa and you love her and you don't know the truth about, you know what I mean, either the lyrics, the video clip, you know what I mean, you don't know, you know what I mean, you just understand some things, but you don't know, you know what I mean, what is the story behind the song. And today you will understand that, you know what I mean. This is exclusive, you know what I mean. You got me? So first, I have to tell you, you know what I mean, what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Me, as Jesus, you know what I mean? Something I'm doing with those famous girls like Dua Lipa. Jesus' story, you know what I mean? God means, what is Jesus' stories? What is the message here? What is the meaning here? Me as guy, I talk to famous girls in Instagram. You know what I mean? In Instagram. And I send them videos, you know what I mean, vocals, message in Instagram, you know what I mean, I send them, you know what I mean, you got me. And they don't respond to me directly, they reply to me indirectly. So the message here is they reply to me in stories and publications. You know what I mean? You got me? This is from 2020. You know what I mean? And now we are in 2025. You know what I mean? So from that time, I was talking to them and they had never responded to me in some direct message. You know what I mean? Direct, no, they had never sent me direct message. Just stories and publication. And me, what I do is, for example, I go to a cafe or place or here, you know what I mean? And I talk, for example, let's say to Dua, 1 hour or 2 hours in video. And there's videos, you know what I mean, in this channel of Jesus Stories, you know what I mean? There's videos, you know what I mean? You got me, what I mean? And the name Stories comes from that, you know what I mean? Stories. So from story, that interaction that I invent, and we interact in stories and publications, you know what I mean? They send me a message there, you know what I mean? From, 5 years, you know what I mean? 5 years, you know what I mean? They just interact with me, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is, we live relationship. This is a relationship, you know what I mean? A relationship. They interact with me, you know what I mean? For 5 years in stories and publication, you know what I mean? So that's the thing, you know what I mean? And yeah, as I said, me, for example, I sit in home or cafe or someplace and I talk to my girl in video, or sometimes vocals, Instagram vocals. You keep talking to her, like, for example, today I did this, talk to her about movie you watch and everything, and she listens to you. You know what I mean? You talk to her, you know what I mean? And she listens to you. You know what I mean? You got me? And she responds to you in story, like I said. That's what I do. You know what I mean? And they don't do scene to my message. You know what I mean? No, there is no scene to my message. You know what I mean? No scene. Just talking to me. So now we talk about training season song. You know what I mean? And you will understand something powerful. You know what I mean? It's so important to watch the video that I did. How it started. You know what I mean? How it started. The video that I said my story. I explained my story there. You know what I mean? Everything. You know what I mean? I explained everything about my identity and what I did and what I'm doing. You know what I mean? How it started. So, Training Season is a song of Dua Lipa. You know what I mean? That song is about me. You know what I mean? You got me, what I mean? You know what I mean? Everyone should know that, you know what I mean? And tell your friends there, you know what I mean? Everything about that, and you know what I mean? Share this information that it's not known, you know what I mean? In the world, you know what I mean? It's not known, you know what I mean? You have to share it so that you know what I mean? The story behind Training Season, you know what I mean? So, the song is about me. So, the song is love song, you know what I mean? Love song. So, she's saying, are you someone that I can give my heart to? Or just the poison that I'm drawn to? That shows that the song is, this is in the beginning, she's saying in the lyrics, are you someone that I can give my heart to? Or just the poison that I'm drawn to? So, it's love song, you know what I mean? You got me? Love song. You know what I mean? But what is training season? The meaning of training season and what is training season over? You will understand everything. Now, this will prove everything that I'm saying about Jesus stories case and I mean Jesus stories and everything, and the fact that they love me and everything. You will know. You know what I mean? I will put you in the context. You know what I mean? Now you'll understand. Oh, this is training season. This is training season over. When she's saying training season over, what is the message there? So first, I want to start by the video. You know what I mean? This is important to start by the video, then the lyrics. The video. You know what I mean? So, yeah, everyone watch that video. The first thing, why she choose the coffee. You know what I mean? The place that she choose is the coffee. You know what I mean? So we said this is love song and she choose to sit in the coffee. To symbolize the fun that I'm doing in Jesus stories. Me, I talk to them either in coffee or my home or someplace and just having fun. I keep talking for 2 hours. You could see my videos and they don't respond to me directly, but I talk to them. Just me, alone. They don't, there is no like conversation like I tell her something, she tell me something. I tell her something, no, I'm just talking by myself and for 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour talking. You know what I mean? So she choose the coffee, you know what I mean? The coffee symbolize that fun, you know what I mean? You got me? The fun. Yeah, you know what I mean? In the beginning of the video, you will see, you know what I mean? Or here, let's say here, messages of her fans, you know what I mean? They hit on her. You know what I mean? In her phone. In her phone, this is the beginning of the video. You know what I mean? A messages, you know what I mean? Of her fans, they hit on her. You know what I mean? They hit on her. So what is the message there? The message there is, you know what I mean? She's talking about a love story that she's experiencing with a fan, you know what I mean? With a fan, you know what I mean? So that's the message there, you know what I mean? You got me? There is a fan there, you know what I mean? She's in love with a fan, you know what I mean? So that's, from the beginning, she's sending that message. You know what I mean? There is fans there, and you know what I mean? In social media, there is fans that they're hitting on her, so there is a fan that she's attracted to or she's in love with. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that you see, you know what I mean, in the beginning. Other thing, you know what I mean, she's wearing black and white. You know what I mean? Black and white, as I said before in the video, how it started, means me. Black and white means me. You know what I mean? Means Jesus story guy. Me. You know what I mean? Black means power and white means religion. You know what I mean? So religion, me, I'm Jesus, and that's white. And black, power. So what I'm doing, I don't give up. I mean, from 2020 now we are in 2025. I'm just, you know what I mean, keep talking to them for 5 years. You know what I mean? So that's, you know what I mean, the horse power, you don't give up. So you combine black and white, gives you Jesus story guy. You know what I mean? She's wearing that. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Other thing is something so fucking powerful. You know what I mean? Powerful, I will tell you now. Focus with me now. So in the beginning, she's in the coffee, and there's many, you know what I mean, guys, symbolizing fans, you know what I mean, fans, they want her, they're watching her, you know what I mean, in that coffee. But suddenly, in the middle of the song, there is a guy wearing green, you know what I mean, and he's talking to her. He's wearing green. What is the message there? That shows that there is a fan, you know what I mean, that she's interacting with, and she's in love with. You know what I mean? That's so obvious. You know what I mean? So there is many, you know what I mean? Suddenly there is many fans, and suddenly there is, in the middle of song, she's now sitting with a guy, and he's, you know what I mean, wearing green. I will tell you what is the meaning of green, but she's talking to, I mean, he's talking to her. He's talking, and she's sitting with him in the coffee. You know what I mean? So that tells you that she's in love with the fan. She's interacting with the fan. You know what I mean? There's a fan, you know what I mean, that he's hitting on her, and that's confirmed the idea, you know what I mean, that a fan, you know what I mean, she's interacting with. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Green color means the Moroccan Jesus. Green color, what is Moroccan Jesus? Because me, I'm Moroccan. Moroccan Jesus. That's the meaning of green color. You know what I mean? Always use green means green color. Moroccan Jesus. You know what I mean? That's the green color. So the idea is me. You know what I mean? Me, I'm talking to her. And you will notice in the video, she's ignoring him. You know what I mean? She's ignoring him. What is the message there? He's talking to her and she's ignoring him. What is the message? The message is me, I send her vocals and videos and she doesn't reply to me directly. That's the message of him, I mean her ignoring him. You know what I mean? She doesn't respond, you know what I mean, to me directly, you know what I mean? And she doesn't do seeing to my messages, you know what I mean? She replied to me indirectly, you know what I mean? So she's, you know what I mean? She's, you know what I mean? In the surface, she's ignoring me, you know what I mean? She doesn't respond to me, you know what I mean? Directly. So that's powerful, absolutely powerful, you know what I mean? You see how Dua Lipa, she's, you know what I mean? Telling the world that she's in love with a fan, but no one knows who is this fan. But now, if you are watching this video, you know what I mean, you are discovering something, you know what I mean? You got me? You are so fucking, you know what I mean? You'll be so fucking happy, and you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? If you are first, you are so lucky, you know what I mean, to just watch me, you know what I mean? If you are first, I mean, watching this video, you know what I mean? So you're just watching, you know what I mean, the lover of, you know what I mean, Dua, and I'm so proud, you know what I mean, of that, you know what I mean? I'm so proud, and yeah, you know what I mean? You got me, this is like a privilege, you know what I mean? And I'm proud of that, and I'm so happy of what I achieved and of what she's giving me, you know what I mean? Dua, you know what I mean? She's my lover, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's the thing, you know what I mean? So she's sending a message about a fan, you know what I mean? A fan, you know what I mean? So, you got me? Suddenly she's interacting with the fan in the middle of the song and he's wearing green. I mean, Moroccan Jesus, you know what I mean? That's me, you know what I mean? And I said that before. So that's the thing. And something else is, there is tea. She's drinking tea. You know what I mean? Tea. You know what I mean? So tea. What is the message there? Tea. You know what I mean? There is tea. Morocco is known by what in drinks? Coffee or tea? No, tea. Moroccan tea. Moroccan tea is so famous. Moroccan tea is something known about Morocco. You know what I mean? And me, I talked to her about that in vocals and videos. So she's doing tea to symbolize Morocco. You know what I mean? And you will see the tea is spinning, rotating, you know what I mean? And you will see in the video that idea of rotating, you know what I mean? People around her, they're rotating, you know what I mean? And she's sitting in the car and rotating, you know what I mean? Got me spinning, rotating, you know what I mean? Rotation. What is rotation here means? Rotation, what is mean the message here? Rotation and tea, rotating, what is the message here? Jesus stories, what I'm doing, I mean, I'm just talking to them. You know what I mean? Got me? It means Jesus stories, what I'm doing. Me, I'm just talking to them. What to them? The girls, I mean the girls. You know what I mean? You got me? I'm just talking to them. Let's talk now about Dua. The message here is I'm just talking to her. You know what I mean? I don't meet her. I just talking to her. She doesn't reply to me directly. You know what I mean? I just keep doing the same thing, talking to her. You know what I mean? You got me? I don't meet her. You know what I mean? So, you got me? You know what I mean? So, just talking to her. And you will see in the lyrics and you will understand. You know what I mean? When I start talking about the lyrics. You got me? To me? You're just talking. You're just talking to her. You just keep, you know what I mean? All the time. Come and, you know what I mean? Repeating the same thing. Talk to her. Hi, how are you doing? And do videos and talk to her and talk to her and talk to her. From 2020, 5 years. You know what I mean? You're just talking to her. You know what I mean? So that's the message here. So it means Jesus stories. I mean, what I invent, what I'm doing, the way we interact. You know what I mean? So that's about, I think I said everything about, you know what I mean? The video. You know what I mean? Now, the lyrics. Let's see the lyrics. The lyrics, she's saying, play fair is that a compass in your nature. We'll start by this. She's saying, play fair is that a compass in your nature. She's talking about that, about what? Seduction. You know what I mean? Seduction. And the games and techniques that I'm using. You know what I mean? Me, I'm coach of seduction. You know what I mean? So, you know what to say in some certain context. She's doing this, I'm doing seduction, games, techniques. You know what I mean? Play fair is that a compass in your nature. Or are you tricky? Because I've been there. That's the message. You know what I mean? You got me? Play fair is that a compass in your nature. Or are you tricky? Because I've been there. She's talking about, as I said, seduction and what I'm, you know what I mean? What I'm using, those techniques of seduction. She's saying also, conversation overload got me feeling vertigo. You know what I mean? Conversation overload. That's what I'm talking about. Jesus stories, what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Conversation overload, because I'm talking too much. Gets me feeling vertigo. You know what I mean? Vertigo. You know what I mean? Conversation overload, because I do video and I talk 2 hours and she's listening to me. Or vocals in Instagram, I talk to her and she's listening. You know what I mean? So conversation overload got me feeling vertigo means what I'm doing. Jesus stories. You know what I mean? I'm just talking to her. You know what I mean? Just talking to her all the time. Send her vocals, videos. You know what I mean? And I don't meet her. We're just talking. You know what I mean? And also another line she's saying, because training season over. You know what I mean? So the idea is what? We should meet. This idea of talking. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's the end. We should meet. Training season over. You know what I mean? So we're just in training season. I mean, this Jesus story is talking to her. You know what I mean? She's replying to me indirectly in publication and stories. You know what I mean? So it's over. Let's meet. You know what I mean? It's over. So that's, you know what I mean, what's about training season. And now, you know what I mean, first time you understand the song, you know what I mean, and the meaning of the song and the story behind the song, you know what I mean. And I want you to share this with everyone you know, because, you know what I mean, this is important, you know what I mean. How can you love Doa and you don't know what she's talking about, and, you know what I mean, with who she's in love with, and, you know what I mean, you have to just know this. And yeah, I'm so fucking proud that Doa, she did this song for me, and it got me, and she sent me those messages, you know what I mean. And I'm so also proud of this kind of interaction, that it's so fucking unique, you know what I mean, that I'm having with these famous girls like Doa. That's for this video, and see you in other videos. Take care.